Okay, good afternoon. We are going to try this again and again. It changed the format of the picture. I do apologize. I don't have another camera to back this up right now. However, I do have the audio. With the need to address things, I don't dare touch this right now. I may lose the picture altogether. And so, again, I do apologize. I will be on the road, leaving tomorrow early in the morning. So I have a whole week ahead of me. I will be out of range. But with the need to touch on answered prayers and to do part 2. You know, last week I did touch on the sacredness of prayer, the sacredness of heart with the spirit of prayer. And it was to touch on not being a bull in a china shop. It's just like the father of lies to be a bull in the china shop and agents of darkness to be that way, bullies. And since recording last week, you know, I also shared as far as the man with the eerie whiteness of skin, as seen in the vision unlike another. A dead man already in allegiance with the dragon. And here, you know, in doing the recordings wisdom today, I was given to do it in Roman numerals, and which is forthcoming in number 7. But it was to touch on Philadelphia as far as being known as being the birthplace of this nation. And here last week, the man with the eerie whiteness of skin, in allegiance with the dragon, dare declare a political war on conservatives. And so in that, it's not to touch on bullies, it is to address the sacredness of heart with the mystery of prayer. The things I was shown concerning that man, and it's to remember the others that I saw with him, also in allegiance with the dragon. It is to consider those things well. You know, and I have often asked, why these things were not brought up before, but again, being allowed to play his hand and to prove before the whole world just what a losing hand it is. And I say that based on spiritually what I've been shown and told beyond my own human imagination, things I would not have even thought. And so last week it was to touch on the sacredness of prayer, sacredness of heart, with the need to forgive ourselves in that flow of oneness, those who desire the flow of oneness. And not realizing until I was shown a mini life review of this man is an important part of your life, to what degree I had built up walls around myself with the written word against the spoken word. And with this declaration of war, you know, a political war against the conservatives, not going to touch on politics, not in the ways of this world, but it is to touch on spiritual warfare and the need for us to have our own boundaries, our own walls, but to have it in spirit and truth. There is something he gave me while in conversation. He had me write it down, and he would have me read it to you now. And I will go ahead and I will also type it out and pin it here in the group. But in that, he said, concerning the mystery of prayer, I do apologize. He wants me to read this to you, but it's also to explain, because of things he's shown and told me, you know, when we allow him to pray through us, that's truly an opportunity, and blesses him, giving the angels the work orders they need to fulfill those answered prayers, to execute them in the natural realm, to put them into action, to bring them into manifestation. But how many times we find ourselves different points in our life, we have these inner groanings, and we may be in a place or with someone, we just don't have the words to express where we're at or how we're feeling, what we're thinking, what we truly desire from our heart. And so he was letting me know, okay, he just said, don't go there. And so with that, it is allowing him to pray through us in interceding on your behalf, allowing him to pray for you through me. It is for him to put those groanings with words to express spiritually for the angels to fulfill those work orders for the angels, to manifest those things, for his word to come to pass, his will, as he sends his word, as he sends to prosper. His word does not return to him void. And to allow him to pray in such a way unfolds many mysteries, seeing things. And real quick, he would have me say, the book of Revelation was written by John, the Apostle John. He was also known as the Apostle of Love. He was caught up in the Spirit, and what he saw was in the Spirit. But he was shown the truth, again, by the Father of lights, not the Father of lies. And in that, to the 7 churches, he was given to write to the 7 churches, but to declare the state of their spiritual condition, despite what they thought, how they may appear on the outside. And so in that, even last week I made mention of the Church of Ephesus. He commended them with things they did, but one thing against them, they forgot their first love. They forgot that relationship. And being engaged with him, they instead were busy doing for him, not with him. And how many times we get busy doing things for him and we overwork our faith muscles. And in so doing, it causes our nerves to become callous. And so there is a condition of callousness with some right now in needing to be still within your spirit and use your spirit senses and connect with that inner knowing. So in that, I will read this, and again, I will write it up, post it, pin it here in the group. But he says here, be sensitive within your spirit. Marketing today is on sensationalism. I would have my people be sensitive, not caught up with sensational. Exercise your sensitivity, using your spirit senses in hearing the truth, like it or not. Adhering to my instructions doesn't always come easy. It takes some doing on your part. Cooperating with me as a team player. Cooperation on your part is an act of faith. It's a matter of trust. And what you do or don't do reveals your trust and where that lies. Again, not always easy. It does take some doing on your part. Be patient, be kind to yourself. Adhere to my instructions to the best of your ability, according to your role. And no, not everyone's role is the same. I have designed each role accordingly to complement one another, not in conflict or in contradiction of one with the other. My word confirms, not contradict, what I am doing. Listen to me always. Your perspective will change as you grow, in light of love, in light of truth, in light of my spirit, and growing in both spirit and truth. My ways are priceless, my thoughts boundless. Adhere to my instructions and you will see. And be real with the state of your own spiritual condition. Be real with me. I do have your best at heart, your best interest in mind. And no more just me. Not in my eyes. Not in my eyes. in my hand. Treasures in my hand. Precious gems, priceless, boundless. Trust me in ways you already know. Trust me, I love you more than you can possibly imagine. My love, possibly imagine. My love is endless in the realm of infinity. I am that I am, trust me. Like I said, I'll pin this and post it in the group. Sorry if I read it a little off there. But the thing is, how many times we think of ourselves, here we go, to not disregard the importance of little things, and he did say, including ourselves. How many times we may, talk to somebody and say, oh, it's just me. And so he's saying it's not just me anymore. Very precious in his sight. Like I said, I've got a lot of things going on today. We've got, hopefully you're not hearing this noise in the background, a neighbor is having their driveway redone. And so old chunks coming up and being dumped in a truck. And then of course the reflection of light going by the cars. It's been a busy day. And again, we'll be on the road and continue to allow him to pray for you through me. Very precious, very precious. He did also want me to say there are those, I heard last night, someone that's known among certain camps say that no one can hear the voice of God unless they're born again. And here we go. That's not scripture. Doesn't line up with the Old Testament. Children of light, both night and day. Even Moses and all the Hebrew people, heard the voice of God. And of course, the Hebrew people, passed that buck on to Moses to have him stand accountable for them and relay that for them. And here we go with a scenario today. We have a bully. He would act like his word is supreme. And just, here we go. Trust the Father of lights, not the Father of lies. And yes, night and day, children of light, we can hear the voice of God. And it's to be sensitive within our spirit. It's been my experience. Those who have entered in new life were not sensitive to their spirit in the old life, in which case they thought becoming aware of their spirit senses and their spirit body, that was all new. And those things don't exist in the old life. And of course, those of us who are aware of those things in the old life, in the times of, in the night versus the day, no, that's not true. And yes, you can hear the voice of God. Abraham, Moses, King David, several others, all the prophets in the Old Testament definitely heard his voice. And so it is to use that in context with a sound balance. Real quick, he did want me to say, because of the bully on the playground these days, in the circus and with the air show, it is to keep in mind, and for those who have who are not ready and yet willing to enter into that new life, to enter into day, is to keep things in mind for when that day comes. And it will come. But as far as dealing with the bully, here we go with the need to establish our own boundaries. It's a warfare. And the divine revelations from the Father, the gates of hell will not prevail. And it is for each one of us individually to be accountable in hearing him and following through with instructions. It doesn't always come easy. It does take some doing on our part. And I know I probably just missed some points there, and I do apologize. I'll be more geared. I'm not feeling quite fully settled yet. It's the beginning of September. It will come in September, so I'll feel more settled, and hopefully next week. So with that said, healing and health always in the name of Jesus, his miracle working power. listening within your spirit. We'll catch you next week. Have a good one.